Hey everyone, this is Riddle Hugger, Asia Raven, and I'm disappointed because I had an entire recording of my reaction while reading Lords of Empyre, Emperor Hulkling Issue number 1, but the footage got corrupted and I couldn't bring myself to do another reaction because I had already reacted to it. But it, yeah, I then ended up writing my review for the Geekery. I did my review video, roundup video for the Geekery channel. And then I decided, you know what, Fareed, calm down, give yourself a few days, then come back and like review the issue again, especially because you have reread it a whole lot of times. But yeah, so I'm here and I'm going to reread or go through Lords of Empyre, Emperor Hulkling again, because if you guys haven't read this issue, y'all, if you guys are fans of Wiccan and Hulkling as a pairing, this is the perfect issue, and especially because it ties into the current Empire event going on in Marvel Comics, so pick it up, it's amazing, like you won't be disappointed. So we have the cover over here. I'll show you some of the panels from the digital version that I have. It's available in Cosmology if you guys want to check it out. But yeah, so this is the main cover, and it's by Zdarsky and Oliveira. Now, Oliveira is someone I got to know about quite recently, especially when he did that Wiccan story in the War of the Realms tie-in. And Chip Zdarsky, I know he writes for Daredevil, but then he ended up writing White Trees, and I was like, oh, Chip, oh, I need to keep an eye on Chip Zdarsky. It was an entirely queer story. But yeah. So the first panels open up years ago, and it's basically on Tranex. Basically, it shows the death of Hulkling's mom, and she tells her mother that she and Captain Marvel had a baby and that she sent the baby to Earth and all of that stuff because Galactus has attacked their planet. And then the page opens with a spread of Hulkling, and he's in his bed, and just look at his, like, the art team did an amazing job here. He's a twunk. But yeah, he's bored. We know that he's bored, especially because Wiccan's off doing stuff in the Strike Force team. So it's Profane the Precious Time, and it's by Chip Zdarsky and Anthony Oliveira. Penciler is Manuel Garcia, inker is Cam Smith, and colorist is Triona Farrell. Okay, so a few months ago, Theodore or Teddy is getting messages from Wiccan. He's having the time of his life basically in Strike Force. And Billy is like, what you doing? Hulkling is like sending him fake messages as if he's hanging out with Spider-Man. Yeah, he's bored. So Tommy sends him a message, and Tommy is like, yo, we're going out, wanna come? And Teddy is like, yeah, sure. So they're at this drag bar, and we have Crystal McCran, who showed up during that during Anthony's tie-in for War of the Realms. And again, with the art, you can see that there's a whole lot of detail in every panel. Like, take a few seconds when you're reading this comic book issue. Take a few seconds and look at everything that's going on. Like, kudos to Manuel Garcia, because in this panel you can see that on the right there's Steady, Prodigy, and Speed. However, on the left you can see two agents who look out of place in the entire drag bar. So yeah, take a second to look at everything that's happening. So basically, Teddy and Prodigy and Speed are talking about, yeah, we understand that you are feeling left out because Wiccan isn't here. Apparently, Dr. Reed created a wedding ring for, not a wedding ring, an engagement ring for Hulkling that changes in size whenever he's shape-shifting. And we also get this spiel from Tommy about it, back when, what's his name? P something. I forgot. Pandemonium or something? Yeah, Master Pandemonium. And that's a very old story if you guys want to check it out. So remember those two people that looked out of place wearing suits? Well, they're here, and they're basically he's a squirrel. They are squirrel and trees. And for those of you who don't know, in the Empire event, the squirrels and the trees are coming together in order to fight another alien race known as the Kotati, and they need Hulkling as the figurehead. But yeah, they're here. And then we have an in memoriam for Denny O'Neil, which again, if you guys want to check, Google him to learn more about him and why he's an important person in the comic book industry. It turns out that the MC who was cosplaying as Professor X, I guess, he is here, and the children of Loctranus will never allow this deviant boy, this foul, intrinsically disordered creammonger, to sit on the sacred throne of the Sprulos. And Macron is like, gee, violent religious fanatics roughing up a gay bar. Never seen that one before. Like, the queer comedy in this issue is like perfection. And Macron is like, protect the hot one with an enormous arm. I'm like, yeah, I'm with you, Macron. Everyone's fighting. Hulkling summons his star sword so everyone can realize that no, this is real. He is the destined king of space. And then we also have Prodigy and Tommy in the corner flirting. So yeah, Tommy's queer too. Then we have a panel showcasing Teddy and the woman who took care of him, who died. So the Skrulls are getting ready to summon Hulkling or beam him up into their spaceship, but then he realizes that Wiccan's home because Wiccan had this bad dream. And I'm really interested in learning about the nightmare that Wiccan had because he ran back to Hulkling. So maybe that might come up in their story down the line, who knows. At first, when the Empire event started, I was kind of wondering whether or not Wiccan would be playing a role, whether or not Wiccan knows what Hulkling is up to. And this issue gave me a whole lot of answers that yes, Wiccan has been standing with Hulkling from the start, so he knows what his responsibilities are, and I can't wait to see these two meet up again when Hulkling comes back to Earth. So I'm a fan of this panel, which, like, even if Hulkling feels left out or not important enough, he is a very important person in Wiccan's life. And yes, Hulkling is the king of space and Wiccan is the future demiurge, but to each other, these are just two queer young men in love and trying to figure out life. Hulkling brings Wiccan with him to the Imperial flagship, and we get Tanav, the pursuer here, and she is like, oh, glory, long live the king, yada yada yada. And she's also like, oh, you brought a pet, how charming. And I'm like, Wiccan can destroy you if he wants. So yeah, tread carefully. But yeah, she's like, and will his majesty's jester aid be accompanying? I'm like, Tanav, why are you doing this? Anyway, Wiccan, before leaving, puts a charm on Hulkling's ring so that whenever Hulkling is in danger, Wiccan can come and save him. And she's basically like trying to tell him what to do, and she's like, we need to execute a few people, and Hulkling is like, no, we aren't going to execute anyone. And Tanal's like, oh, okay, if you say so. And then she presents the Royal Guard, and this is Captain Glory, and Knight of the Infinite, the Sorcerer's Morgan, which is basically, I guess, a play on Morgana from the Arthurian legend. Who knows? I'm just thought. And then the Super Squirrel appears, and of course, Hulkling isn't happy to see him because he killed his mother or the woman who raised him. Hulkling takes a few minutes to like go and meet up with his father, the grave of his father, and he's like, you left the world you love to protect the people you knew nothing about because they needed you, and I hope I can do the same. Also in this panel, you can see that while Hulkling is like trying to connect with his father, the Imperial flagship is being attacked, and Hulkling just teleports back inside. And of course, there are people there, and there are three zealots who want to kill him. Is going to get kind of like seriously injured, but then yep, Wiccan's here, and Wiccan's like, hands off my spaceman, and he's like, hey Princess Muscles, I'm here to rescue you. I really enjoy how Wiccan and Hulkling like play on these traditional gender. And one of the Kree zealots who was attacking Hulkling, she's like, I want that twink obliterated. Again with the queer humor in this issue. This panel, the Super Squirrel ends up like crushing Wiccan's arm, and I'm like, oh no you don't. And yeah, Hulkling is like, and if you lay a finger on him ever again, I will open you up from your gut to your chin furrows. And like leave Wiccan alone, you all. I also enjoyed this panel quite a lot because it showcases a very intimate moment between Wiccan and Hulkling. And yeah, it's quite like everything is quite soft. And Wiccan is again having that dream where he is trying to get Mordok ready for a ball or something. But yeah, Hulkling is looking at Wiccan, and Wiccan is like, everything. I'm looking at my everything. And oh, the romance, the queer love, the softness of it all. Like, kudos to Zdarsky and Oliveira for giving us this, and the art team for making this visual, and especially to Marvel Comics for allowing them to tell the story that they want. Now in this panel, when I was reading this issue for the first time, I was like, are Zdarsky and Oliveira going to make these two break off their engagement? Because if they do, I was ready to flip tables, you all, because everyone's ready. Everyone's just saying that, okay, so the Super Squirrel is saying, you stood with this Avenger over your own people. And then one of the commanders is like, the Kree will never abide a human consort. He's not a consort, he's this husband-to-be. And then Morgan is like, this man is a chaos bringer, he threatens destiny itself, I'm sorry. I'm like, oh, whoa, this is too much, what's happening here? And Wiccan's like, Teddy, I understand what you have to do. And Teddy is like, Billy, William Kaplan of Earth, my ties to you I renounce, and yada yada yada, blah blah blah. And he's... And Wiccan, before leaving, he's like, well then, Tanal. And Tanal is like, do not yowl at me, monkey spawn. And I'm like, Tanal, he can destroy you. He can like stop you from existing. And Wiccan, before leaving, he's like, all-haired Emperor Dorek, long and in glory may he reign. And I'm like, why would Zdarsky and Oliveira do this to me? Why? It felt like a personal attack. So then we have a panel where it's shown that Tanal is basically, she has her own plans, and you can I can kind of understand where Tanal is coming from, because if you read how politics goes way back during the times of kings and queens, they would try to like distance the king or the queen or the person in power from other influences. So having Teddy like break off his engagement with Wiccan and having Teddy alone makes sense, because if Hulkling is alone, he's more vulnerable to being manipulated. So that makes sense. But yeah, again, when I was reading this for the first time, I was like, I don't care what the justification is. I want Wiccan back in Hulkling's life. And in the next panel, Wiccan is back, and Wiccan is and Hulkling is like, I didn't mean it, you know that. And Billy is like, yeah, I know. I had my finger crossed and all of that stuff. Like, Wiccan is not leaving Hulkling for anything, and vice versa. And again, kudos to Zdarsky and Oliveira for giving us this development, because as far as my opinion is concerned, breaking off loving couples just to cause drama is lazy writing, in my opinion. And yeah, these two are, these two. So the chapter ends with Wiccan saying that he'll like save the world, save all of them. I'll be home waiting for the prince to return. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Wiccan finally meeting up with Hulkling and where that story will lead, because if you read the main Empire issues, you know that the Kotati have betrayed the Avengers. So let's see what happens. If you guys want to check out my written review of this, I have done it for the Geek Theory. The link to that will be down in the comment section below. Again, pick this issue up, especially because if you guys are fans of Hulkling and Wiccan, or if you want to see a superhero story with queer superheroes, picked this issue up. It's amazing. It was perfect. As a Hulkling and Wiccan fan, this issue was perfect for me. And yeah, let me know what you guys thought of it down in the comment section below if you guys have already read it. And until next time. Oh, before I finish, fingers crossed that Marvel decides to give Oliveira a Hulkling and Wiccan solo series, or even a new Young Avengers series where the team is led by Hulkling and Wiccan. Yeah, Marvel, get on it. And again, and I think that Marvel is still not giving us 100% answer when it comes to whether or not Wiccan and Speed are mutants, because if Wiccan is a mutant, like I want him to go to Krakoa, mess some stuff up. And my theory, fan theory, is that Wiccan is a mutant, but he hasn't been invited to Krakoa because Professor X doesn't want mutants who can see the future in the island because they're hiding Moira, and Professor X doesn't want the rest of the mutants to know what can happen in the future. And I think that's why they still haven't resurrected Destiny, even though Mystique wants her back, and they still haven't resurrected Blindfold? Yeah, Blindfold. So I think that's why Professor X wants Wiccan to stay away, because Wiccan can see into the future, and not into the future, he can look into all of the different realities. But still, again, I think as far as Marvel is concerned, we still haven't gotten 100% answer regarding whether or not Wiccan is a mutant. I have asked Oliveira before, and even he hasn't answered. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought of this issue down in the comment section below. And until next time, stay happy, stay safe, stay blessed. See you guys later.